Imagine standing on the sun-wrapped island of Crete, where warm Mediterranean winds glide over rolling hills and the sea below sparkles with the same brilliance it did thousands of years ago. Today, these ruins look calm, silent stones, fading frescoes, broken columns. But once, this very land was the beating heart of a powerful civilization, one so advanced and so mysterious that even the ancient Greeks, legendary storytellers themselves, turned it into myth. This is the rise, glory, and fall of the Minoans, the forgotten Aegean power. Our story begins around 3000 BCE, long before Athens became a city of marble or Sparta forged its iron discipline. While most of Europe still struggled with tribal life, Crete was transforming into a hub of innovation. Traders sailed its shores, artisans filled its workshops, and farmers cultivated fields that fed an emerging kingdom. In the center of this flourishing island stood the Palace of Knossos, a sprawling labyrinth of corridors, staircases, courts, and storage rooms that seemed to breathe with life. It wasn't just a palace, it was a symbol of something revolutionary. A centralized, organized, peaceful society that thrived through trade, art, and seafaring strength. From Knossos radiated the pulse of the Minoan world. Their ships ruled the Aegean, sleek vessels gliding through waters connecting Crete to Egypt, Mesopotamia, Anatolia, and beyond. Unlike many ancient powers, the Minoans didn't need towering armies or fortified walls. Their navy kept pirates and enemies at bay, earning them the almost mythical status of a Thalassocracy empire. And with control of the sea, wealth flowed in. Exotic goods, precious metals, and foreign ideas mingled with Minoan craftsmanship, filling their palaces with color and culture. Step inside these palaces if you can imagine it, and you find yourself in a world where art is everywhere. Vivid frescoes line the walls, dolphins dancing above queens with flowing hair, acrobats leaping over bowls, processions of priests, priestesses, and musicians winding through sacred courtyards. Unlike many ancient societies, women featured prominently in Minoan art, suggesting a culture that valued their leadership, spirituality, and presence in daily life. These aren't the harsh, warlike scenes found in other Bronze Age cultures. They are fluid, expressive, alive. One of the most iconic images is the bull-leaping fresco, showing athletes grabbing the horns of a charging bull and somersaulting over its back. It's a breathtaking spectacle, equal parts ritual, sport, and symbol. To the Minoans, the bull was sacred. Its power, its presence, its connection to the earth, all of it fed into a spiritual tradition that fascinated the Greeks so much they later transformed it into the myth of the Minotaur. According to legend, King Minos kept a half-man, half-bull creature imprisoned in an impossible maze beneath Knossos. While historians see the myth as symbolic, it hints at how mysterious and impressive Minoan culture must have seemed to those who came after. But the Minoans didn't just build palaces, they engineered them. Their structures had multi-story apartments, advanced ventilation systems, water channels, and even flushing toilets long before such innovations appeared elsewhere. Storage rooms the size of small houses held jars of oil, wine, grain, and spices, feeding an economy that could support thousands. These palaces weren't just homes for royalties. They were administrative centers, cultural hubs, and religious sanctuaries all woven into one. Yet for all the brilliance, for all the color and grace of Minoan life, their writing system remains largely unreadable. The script known as Linear A still defies interpretation. It's as though the Minoans themselves are speaking to us from across time, but the language is muffled by millennia. We see their world, their art, their architecture, but their thoughts, their stories, their beliefs remain locked away, hidden in symbols no one alive today can truly decipher. And then, around 1600 BCE, nature dealt a blow that changed everything. To the north of Crete, on a small volcanic island called Thera, modern day Santorini, Earth began to tremble. Pressure that had been building for centuries erupted in one of the largest volcanic explosions in recorded history. The island didn't just erupt, it detonated. The explosion tore the island apart, sent shockwaves across the sea, unleashed tsunamis towering like mountains. and cloaked the sky in ash that drifted 4 weeks. Entire coastlines were swallowed. Crops failed, trade collapsed. The Minoans, masters of the Aegean, suddenly found their world darkening. Archaeologists debate the full extent of the disaster, but one thing is clear. The eruption delivered a catastrophic blow to the Minoan Civilization. Their navy was devastated. Their ports were damaged. Their economy wavered, and as they struggled to recover, another power was rising on the mainland: warriors, known as the Mycenaeans. They were different from the Minoans. Militaristic, expansionist, and armed with bronze weapons and ambition. Sensing weakness, the Mycenaeans moved in. Over the decades that followed, they took control of Minoan palaces, adopted parts of their culture, and transformed Crete into a Mycenaean province. Soon, the elegant Minoan script, Lineare, was replaced by the Mycenaean Lineare B. The graceful R shifted toward more rigid, war-focused imagery. The old palaces burned or collapsed one by one, as though the civilization was slowly being erased. By 1100 BCE, the Minoans had disappeared from the historical record. Their culture faded, their symbols scattered, their cities swallowed by time. But they didn't vanish completely. Their myth survived. Their influence seeped into Greek religion, architecture, language, and legend. Zeus, Europa, Minos, Ariadne, the Labyrinth. The Minotaur. These stories carry echoes of the real people who lived on Crete long before Homer's epics were sung. Today, when archaeologists wander through the ruins of Knossos, when they brush dust off a newly discovered fresco or uncover a linear tablet, they are reaching back into a civilization that shaped the ancient world in ways still not fully understood. For a culture without armies, without walls, without recorded kings, or grand monuments boasting of conquest, the Minoans left behind something far more powerful: beauty, innovation, and mystery. The forgotten Aegean power wasn't built on war, it was built on creativity, connection, and the sea itself. And perhaps that is why it remains so captivating today. The Minoans remind us that not all great civilizations roar with the sound of battle.